Welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead, y'all. I'm glad you're back. And if this is your first time to our channel, I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're over at the bread shed, and I'm going to make a blackberry cobbler. Tim has been really good on his eating plan. He's lost 27 pounds approximately. And he hasn't had anything, pretty much anything extra sugar-wise, except like your stevia or something like that. Now, the sugar that already is in his food, if we buy something from the store or something, then, you know, that wasn't regulated. But anyways, he's doing good. So he's been going around picking all these blackberries, and he said, I think I'm going to have a blackberry cobbler. I said, well, I think you ought to have a piece of it. So I'm going to make a small one, okay, so that we're not stuck with this great big blackberry cobbler like I normally used to make. So I'm going to show you all how to make a small one. So I went ahead and got our blackberries, and he's been freezing them as he's been eating them too, but what's left after he eats them, after he picks them, he freezes. So I've got enough, I'm pretty sure I got enough for a cobbler, for this small one anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in this pan, okay? And I would say there's probably about 4 cups of blackberries, and I've had them in the water, so they're kind of, you know, the color's coming out of them. They look a little red, but they're ripe. They were purple when he picked them. But anyway, they're pretty good size. They're the tame ones and the wild ones, because we have wild ones going around the house, plus he's got tame ones that he grows. So, let me get my masher. My potato masher is at the house, but I'm not going to go back over there and get it. I'm just going to put this about right there. And I'm not going to cook them, okay? I'm not going to like cook them or boil them or nothing at this point. I'm just going to mash them up. And I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but all I'm doing is just mashing them with this. This is kind of for meat or whatever you want it for, actually. And just getting those juices to come out, okay? So I'm going to do that for a minute, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I've got it all over me. Let's get a towel and get it off. I'm not mashing them a lot, just enough to get a little bit of juice out, okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting a little bit of juice to get going in there. Not a lot. I don't want them completely mashed because we want some whole ones in our cobbler, right? Okay. We'll get that to warming. I'm going to go ahead and put some sugar in here. I'm going to start out with, we'll just use this, half a cup. I'm going to start out with 1 cup of sugar in this. And that might be all I need. I've already got it. That's why I put this on, because I get messy. Okay, now we're just going to let this sit here and kind of cook a little bit together. Now I'm going to get you over here for a minute. Okay, now I'm going to make my crust. I'm going to go ahead and get this started because I'm going to have a layer in between my cobbler crust, okay? I know this is not how a lot of people do it. This is how I do it. That's why I'm showing you. Okay, I was trying to fix my camera and I shut it off. So I've got some cold water here, not a whole lot, but I put a couple ice cubes in it to keep it cold. Got my bowl. I've got my lard. If you don't have lard, get some Crisco or whatever you use, but a solid, and you want it kind of hard, okay? And that's why I'm using cold water too, because I want to keep that hard. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put about, we're going to make that middle one, so I'm going to put about 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I have unbleached. Use what you got. Use what you got. Don't use self-rising, though. And don't use bread flour. But any other kind of all-purpose flour you got. So I went ahead and put 3 cups because I'm going to have, you know what? I probably won't need 3 cups because I'm not doing a big one. What am I thinking? Okay, I'm going to take a cup back out. So I'm going to use 2 cups. Sorry. I'm going to use 2 cups, and I'm going to get me some salt. Hold on. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this in here, probably about a half a teaspoon of salt, okay? And then I'm going to get me about a half a cup, probably not even a half a cup, maybe. Probably about a half a cup, yeah. So 2 cups of all-purpose flour, about a half a cup of lard or Crisco, whatever you use, butter, you may use butter, and about half a teaspoon of salt or better, okay? Most of y'all know how to do a crust, but this is just how I do it. Now, a lot of people will do it and drop, the dough, and it's like a pancake batter type dough on top of their cobbler. Some people do it that way. I use crust. Tim and I like a crusty cobbler with all that juicy, bubbly juice all in it and on it, and that's what we like. So it just kind of depends. So give this a try, and if you like it, then now I'm just going to get in here with my fingers and kind of work this. My hands are clean. Work this flour and this lard. Lard makes the best pie crust. I'm just going to tell you. Or that's my opinion anyway. Now, let me get this ice out of here. I'm going to start pouring a little bit of water. So this is a cup of water that I have, okay? I should be using a spoon because I'm going to have this all over my fingers, but that's okay. You guys know me. Good Lord give you fingers to use, and that's your tools. When I went to cosmetology school, I used to teach people to use your fingers when you're styling your hair. That's the best tools you could have when you're styling your hair. And they're free. Use your fingers. Okay, I think we're getting close. And you don't really want to work this a lot, okay? Because you'll make your dough tough. But you want to make sure that all the water and the flour is incorporated. Okay, I think that's going to be good. Now, let me get this out of my way. Let me get my pastry board. If you don't have one of these, it's okay. You don't have to have, okay? I just feel like it helps me out a little bit better. Now I'm just going to pinch off a piece of this. The rest of this is going to be the rest of my crust, and probably some of this too. Get me a little bit of flour here. Now, I'm going to make me a square. I'm going to try to make me a square, and if it doesn't turn out completely square, it's okay. It'll be just fine. I'm going to do the best I can do, y'all. I hope I put enough on here. Okay. Yep, that's going to work. All right, let me get my knife. Grab you a little knife here. Take your little dish. I think this is I'm not sure what the dimensions here. I'll get it in here in a minute. And I'm just going to cut this square around here. Okay. Take that off. There's my square. Now, here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be for your middle, okay? I'm going to push it out just a little bit more because it's going to draw up a little bit in the oven. And we're going to go ahead and put this piece in the oven. And we're going to bake this, okay? We're just going to put it in the oven. We're going to bake it till it's almost done. I'll just go ahead and set a timer for about, we'll go about 7 minutes because it takes about, well, we better go about 5. We'll go about 5 minutes. Okay. We'll go ahead and get rid of this. I don't need it no more. We'll get this. Okay, you see all that juice? Yum. Now I'm going to taste this. I'm just going to taste the juice and see. That's perfect. Okay? I can't tell you exactly how much sugar that you will want in there. For me, that cup of sugar, but I haven't had a whole lot of sugar, so that tastes really sweet to me. Not really sweet, but it tastes sweet. So we're not going to put any more sugar in that. So I had about 4 cups of blackberries, 1 cup of sugar, and we're just going to let that kind of sit there for a minute. Now, I threw my towel right in my flour. That wasn't a smart thing to do. Let me grab my cornstarch. We're going to mix a little of this up. We're going to put 2 tablespoons, okay, of that. And then I'd say probably, I don't want to make too much. Hold on a minute. Now we may have to make some more, but that's 1/4 of a cup of cold water, okay? 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 of a cup of cold water. Now I'm going to kick this heat up just a little bit and get it. I don't want to boil it for very long because I don't want my fruit to disintegrate, right? We may have to make some more of this. So I'm not going to put it up yet. Okay, you see how it's starting to bubble and boil right there? I'm going to start putting this in. This is just a thickener to make it so it's not so runny. We're probably going to, I'm going to put some flour in here too a little bit. Put a little bit of flour. We still may have to put some more cornstarch. So I'd say about a teaspoon of flour. I need to get my, hold on a minute. That's our middle of our dough. Yep, that's good enough. That's done. I hate to smash that, but it's got air in it. I should have put some holes in it, and I didn't think about it. Yep, we're going to need some more. So let me put some more of this together real quick. I don't like that boiling. Put some more in there. Okay, so we had a total of 4 tablespoons and a 1/2 cup of water. I'll let that cook down a little bit. All right, now we're going to get our big piece of dough. We'll put that other to the side. I don't think I'm going to need it, actually. Let me get a little more flour. And this is just, I'm doing this quickly in a hurry. You can take your time doing this. You don't have to be in a hurry like me. We've been so busy today that I wanted to get this done for him. Now I'm going to try to go in another square. And you know, I don't put my crust real thick, y'all. Ooh, I'm getting hot. And it don't have to be a perfect square. It don't have to be, none of this has to be perfect on a cobbler. That's a good thing about a cobbler, because a cobbler is supposed to look kind of old-fashioned anyway, because it kind of is. And it's going to look good no matter what you do with it, all right? Okay. Let's see what happens here. Okay. I forgot to put my light on my stand where you could have, this would have, you'd have seen this a little bit better. So I'm just kind of poking this down in here so that the hot stuff don't make that collapse or put a hole in it. So I got it just kind of like that, right? Okay. Now, do not put holes in there because we're going to put the filling in there. Let me roll this up out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm going to start out putting not so much juice, okay? But you want it juicy. But I may leave some of that juice in there. It depends. Depends on how much I got going here. I'm going to use half of it on the bottom. I think that's probably about half right there. Okay. Now I'm going to put our middle crust right there. Because if you put that in there raw like this, that is not going to get done. That is the reasoning for that, okay? I don't know if I told you that. I don't think I did. Then we're going to put the rest of this on top of there. Oh, it's going to be good, y'all. It is going to be good. I think we're going to take all this juice and everything. Okay, there we go. And it's full. Now I'm going to take these sides and I'm going to pull them over like this. Remember what I said, it don't matter. It's supposed to kind of look like this. Now you're going to have a vent hole. There's your vent hole. So the steam can escape, okay? We're also going to put some, let me get it, hold on. So we're going to put a little bit of egg wash on here. That's just the white of an egg is what I use for this egg wash. There's two different egg washes you can use. You can use a whole egg with some water or just the white. And it depends on what you're trying to do or what the brownness and everything you're trying to accomplish. So on my pies and stuff, I just use the egg white for my wash. Then I'm going to put a little sugar on top. Gotta have that. Okay. Then you can do little designs or whatever you want. I'm just going to poke some holes. Sometimes I'll do designs. I'll put hearts or crosses or different things, you know, on it. I'm just going to do a few vent holes there. We got a big one, so we really didn't need one. Now I'm going to put it on. Hold on a minute. We're going to put it on this pan, okay? Because it's a good possibility it could boil over, okay? And you don't want that sticky mess in your oven. So we're going to put it in the oven. I can get a hold of this without spilling it. Okay, you're going to go about 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. Then you're going to cover your crust. and then you're going to go about 30 minutes on 375. Okay? And just watch it. Just watch it. You'll know when the crust is done. And so we'll let this cook, and then I'll bring it out and I'll let you see it. So don't go nowhere. All right, we're back, y'all, and I got this done. I didn't have to cover the crust. I told you I'll cover the crust and then cook it for 30 more minutes. I didn't have to. I was thinking of a pie when I was telling y'all that. Anyways, there it is. That is our Blackberry Cobbler. Here's his No Added Sugar by Breyers.
How much added sugar's in that?
I'm not going to tell you. Well, you said that
I know.
you would.
I ain't had no sugar in a long time.
Right.
It's probably going to cause me to go into sugar overload.
We'll just use that. Yeah, we haven't fed yet. Maybe that'll cause you to feed really quick. And then I won't.
It might cause me to feed really slow.
Yeah, it might too. Okay, let's open this. Let's just open this so they can see it, and then we'll get off there. There's your ice cream. Spoon, spoon. How big a piece you want?
I don't know. Go ahead. That's good. Bring it back up. Bring it back a little more. A little more. There you
go. Ooh-wee. Look at that. You want all that goodie?
Yeah. Don't cheat me.
And see, I'm going to show them. If you can see the 3 layers. Remember, we put that middle layer in there? There it is. Okay. Well, I'm just going to get me a little. I ate supper and I'm not so hungry for this right now.
Well, I ate supper too.
I know, but I had lunch and you didn't. Or breakfast. I just had toast for breakfast. But. So what you think? Well, hurry and try it, and then we're gonna get off here. Yeah, I'll have a little bit. Can't believe we're buying we bought ice cream because I usually make it. How is it?
Blackberry Cobbler.
Is this still warm? It is. Well, I'm glad you like it. And then were the blackberries you picked. All right, there you go. Try this Blackberry Cobbler recipe. I think you'll like it. And Lord willing, we'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.